Jason. Nick
Hi.
Hayes.
Hayes?
Nick Hayes, yeah, I'm based in socialist France,
Which socialist country are you based in?
Paris, France.
Magnifique, one of my favorite countries.
Really? You speak French?
Je parle un petit peu.
Ah, c'est bien, c'est bien. So I founded a company called Azalead Software. We're in the B2B marketing space.
Okay.
We build software for account-based marketing.
Okay, for account-based marketing.
Yeah.
Great.
So we've started selling about 18 months ago. We've grown the company to about $1 million in ARR today.
Incredible.
Thank you.
In Paris.
In Paris, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, the French companies mainly buying from us. Also international companies, IBM, Cisco, those kind of companies are buying from us locally. So now we want to come to the US. And my question for you is East Coast or West Coast, New York or San Francisco? Where would you put an enterprise sales team if we were looking to expand in the US?
Great. So it's a great question. Where in the US should a European company put their enterprise sales? The flight to New York is going to be 6 hours. The flight here is going to be 12. So that's a big difference. That being said, you have incredible, tools like Skype and chat software, Yammer, Slack, HipChat. And so the world is much smaller because of these technologies, and they work. So perhaps the distance doesn't make as much of a difference today. So then I would base it on one of two things. One, you're the CEO founder, right?
Yes.
So one, where do you want to spend your time on a personal basis? Kind of matters, right? You want to enjoy where you're going to stay because you're going to be spending a lot of time here. But really, where are your customers and where do you need to raise money? So if the overwhelming majority of your customers are in New York, that's a good place to set up the sales office because they would meet face-to-face with people. That being said, New York is going to be 25% cheaper than here.
Cheaper than here?
Cheaper than here. Yeah, here is the cost of living is higher and salaries are much higher as a result. So New York is actually cheaper than San Francisco and Silicon Valley. And there's more talent. The talent here is probably better for enterprise software, but you're going to be in massive competition with Salesforce, Yammer, Microsoft. Everybody is competing for these executives. Whereas in New York, you have less competition. That being said, if you want to raise money and build $1 billion company, this is a pretty great place to do it. So raising money here is literally 500 times easier than New York.
500 times easier?
500 times easier here. New York is going to be 5,000 times easier than Paris to raise money, right? Raising money in Europe is hard. And the VCs there keep people on a very tight leash. They want to have a lot of controls. They give very low valuations. So I think if your goal is to raise money, then be here. If you want to be part of the world-class, Silicon Valley technology business, be here. If you're going to raise money, because you'll be present and you'll be able to meet with VCs all the time, have them by your office, and that means something. They'll feel like you're part of this community. If your sales is going to be primarily in New York and you have a lot of customers there, sure, 1 or 2 people, but how many people are in the company currently? 10, 20?
Today, 28 people.
28 people. So your sales office might have 5 people in it, you think? Remote sales office?
Exactly. We have 5 people in France, and we want to have 5 people in the
Perfect.
US.
So that's usually what a satellite office would be. A lot of the top sales executives like to work from home. There's a lot of that going on. So what you might consider is having a small office somewhere with 2 or 3 people in it, and then your SDRs or salespeople looking across the country in different places, Utah, Texas, Chicago, Boston, and DC, places where Atlanta, you might be able to get somebody for a lot cheaper who wants to work from home, who has kids, and who prefers the lifestyle. And so that is something a lot of American companies are doing. They're putting their sales offices in Boulder, Colorado, Salt Lake City, Utah comes up a lot, Austin, Dallas. A lot of people are saying Silicon Valley is too constrained for people in the salary range of, let's say, $50,000 to $75,000 base pay of a sales executive. That may not be great here, and certainly customer support, which is $30,000 to $50,000, or SDRs, sales development reps, $30,000 to $50,000 all-in commissions and everything. Those work better in Arizona, where people have rent of $600 or $700 or $800 a month, whereas rent here might be $200, $300, $5,000 a month, more if you have a family. So I think you should think that through. Remote teams work really well. So a small office here with 2 or 3 people, and then let them hire remote people. Remote people just opens up a world of difference. And also, some of the top performers here in the United States will pick the flexibility and freedom over compensation. So they'll pick being able to drop their kids off at school, pick them up, have dinner with them, work for 2 hours at night, work for 4 hours in the morning, work for 3 hours in the afternoon. They would rather have that flexibility and to be able to work from home and get rid of 10 hours a week of commuting or 15 hours a week of commuting. And they will work for $20,000 less per year than people who have to drag their asses into an office and hate it. It's a big trend here. I wish you luck with it.
Thank you.
It sounds like a great business. Hey everybody, let's take a moment to thank my friend Scott Walker from the Walker Corporate Law Group. They are a boutique law firm specializing in the representation of entrepreneurs and startups. And they encourage fixed fees. They believe that billable hours reward inefficiency, so they will give you a fixed fee to form your companies, do merger and acquisitions, licensing agreements, terms of service, privacy policies, all that important stuff that you need to get dialed in perfectly for your startup. And their lawyers have 10 to 20 years of experience each. No junior associates getting on the job training with your startup. No, they're all pros over there. And if you want to talk to the founder, Scott Walker, you can call him directly, 415-979-9998. 415, that's the area code here in San Francisco, 979-9998. Or you can email Scott at walkercorporatelaw.com, Scott at walkercorporatelaw.com, or visit walkercorporatelaw.com. Again, call him 415-979-9998. He is a great guy. He's been around for years, coming to all of our events and supporting everything we do, and he is a real mensch, a great attorney, and he's got a great team over there. A lot of my startups use the Walker Corporate Law Group and have had a great experience. Go ahead and follow at Scott Ed Walker on Twitter too. He loves to get new followers, and it's awesome when you guys thank the partners for supporting independent media like This Week in Startups. Okay, let's get back to this program.